We've killed a lot of bottles lately, like probably too many, but we're going to tell you whether we'd replace them or whether we were one and done. Hi friends, I'm Laura, this is Troy, we're Baker Drinks, and we've got a bottle kill video for you to let you know what's worth buying.
Yeah, almost 20 bottles here. Some people might say we have a problem.
I think we're just generous.
But there's context. Some of these bottles have been open for 3 years. And
It's a long time.
And we just finally got around to emptying them. A lot of them we sample out. We tell people all the time, we give away more whiskey than we drink.
But we do drink whiskey.
Lots of whiskey.
First up, we've got a couple bottles from Green River. These are the only bottles we have ever owned from Green River. First one's just the standard bourbon that sits on the shelf, and the other one's a single barrel at full proof.
Myron from Bourbon Drop gifted us this, and Brian from Bourbon School got us this bottle. Thank you guys. We enjoyed the heck out of them. Important question. Would we pick those bottles up again?
I think I'd pick up the standard one again.
Yeah, as far as like a competitor to Buffalo Trace, I felt like it really stood up.
I like the flavor. It's fruity. It's easy sipping.
Speaking of those easy drinking, super fruity whiskeys, this one's always on our shelf. It's the Buffalo Trace, just the standard 90 proofer. We probably drink through 2 or 3 of these a year. So not like crazy fast, but fast by our standards. Like I said, some of these bottles have been open for 3 years. This is one, like I said, always on our shelf. We will always have it. It goes great in cocktails. It's a good, just if you're going to have one pour in the night and you don't really want to think about it, you just want some whiskey. Or if somebody comes over and they're bourbon curious, they don't drink a lot of it, this is a good introduction bottle. So always on our shelf.
Next, I've got the Evan Williams single barrel. We had heard so much stuff about it. I guess it used to be pretty cheap. Now it's around $55 around here. It's not a cheap bottle by any means. So it's one of the newer ones that have come out. I'm not a fan. It didn't do it for me. Something about it doesn't do it for us. So we won't be purchasing another one. There's plenty of bottles at $55 that I'd prefer to have over this.
Next up, we've got 3 local bottles to us. These are from Bull Run Distillery in Portland, Oregon. The American Single Malt, the Maple Infused Bourbon, and this was a 15-year American light whiskey that was actually a pick from Phil and Julie at the Bourbon Van. The price is the best part. They're like under $60 for all of these. I would definitely replace this one. The Maple Infused, how do you feel about that?
I enjoy it. Obviously not to just drink by itself. It's way too sweet for that. But it makes a pretty dang good old-fashioned. Adding just a little bit of bitters and you're pretty much good to go at that point. So, I don't know. I could take it or leave it. You know, it depends. It depends how generous I am with my money when we go visit them again, if I'd buy it again.
Yeah. Now, the thing about this one, it's not a liqueur. It's not like a 70 proofer like you see a lot of those maple whiskeys are. This is over 100 proof. It's actually a bourbon that was infused with some maple syrup. We saw the process when we toured the distillery. We tasted it in their tasting room. We liked it. We brought it home. This thing has exclusively gone into old fashions. We kind of forgot about it for a while, and then
it gets hidden. Things get hidden. We've got too many bottles. We show all these bottle kills, but there's so many of them.
Yep.
So many bottles.
We dug it back out from the back of the shelf. It was probably half full at the time, and that was probably 2 weeks ago. So we drank that in a couple weeks, just drinking old fashions.
That's pretty much all I've drank in the last 2 weeks is an old fashioned. Yeah, I'll take another old fashioned, please. You know, sometimes we like to drink whiskey neat, and sometimes we like it in cocktails. There's no wrong way to drink it.
Yep, and this last one here is an American single malt that is finished for 32 months in Madeira. And I believe it was 9 years to start with.
Yeah, so would you buy it again?
I think I would buy that one again. I might try a different finish, just to have some variety, but I do enjoy their single malt.
Next, I've got a couple of bottles from Nashville Barrel Company. They're both ryes. This one is called a small batch rye whiskey, a duet of ryes. So it's like a blend of 2 different ryes. And then this one's just a straight rye whiskey at cask strength.
I don't even know if this one is still available. I think Nashville was trying to have like a shelf product, and I think they've just kind of settled into more of the single barrel market now. I could be wrong, and you guys can let me know in the comments, but I have never seen another one of these bottles since this purchase a couple years ago, and it took us a long time to drink it because neither one of us really enjoyed it that much.
Yeah. Would we replace either of these?
I'm 100% no on the duet of ryes if I came across it again. On the single barrel cask strength, we drink it mostly in cocktails. It's an expensive bottle to drink in cocktails, so I don't know that I would replace it for that reason. Next up, it's another rye and another single barrel. This is the Old Pepper. This is a single barrel cask strength rye. We tried this in a blind from a friend. I wasn't as big a fan of this when I owned it as I was of that sample.
I think it was a good price though, wasn't it?
It was around $50.
So with that, I'd be willing to probably take a chance again and be more picky about which one we buy instead of just picking the first one we find. Next, I've got a Nulu single barrel. This is the double oak from Matt at ADHD Whiskey. Double oaked, if you couldn't get that from the name, double oak. Nulu. Our shelf seems to be dwindling of the Nulus. We have owned quite a few of them, liked all of the single barrels that we have gotten. We enjoyed this bottle. Happy I purchased it. Haven't bought anything from Nulu in probably a year, 2 years. I don't know. It's been a while. So on that note, would we buy it again?
Well, it is a hefty price tag. You're talking $80 to $120 a bottle, depending on what area of the country you live in. It's closer to the 120 for us. If somebody we know does a pick, we would support them.
If it's finished. It's got to be finished. I don't know. And not a toasted. I guess this is double oak, but it's different than toast.
Surprise, surprise. Another single barrel.
We like them, turns out.
This is the Trails Inn 10 cask strength. It was picked by our friends Phil and Julie over at the Bourbon Van. And this was a excellent bottle. Cask strength, 123.1 proof. It sold out almost instantly. We loved it. We babied this bottle down to the very last drop.
Will we buy more Trails End products? I'd say yes. Well, guess what? Another single barrel, if you can believe it. This one was our own. This is a Westward single malt. This is the one we called the Cherry Sex Bomb. And, well, we thoroughly enjoyed it. Happy we picked it. Obviously have nothing bad to say about it, because otherwise we wouldn't have said, yeah, we'll commit to these, and if people don't buy them, we'll buy them all. Like, gotta like it, right?
Yeah, so we found something special with the two barrels we picked there. This one, very bright, fruity, in-your-face flavors, and as you can tell, it went first. We drank this one real quick. This one's been empty a while, probably a month.
Good thing we got our backup already. So, yes, we would purchase it again, because we have purchased, I don't know, like 6 bottles. Well, 3 of each of the picks. So, you know, we like it.
And now we enter the tater phase of the bottle kill section. Starting off with a Blanton's store pick. A little
single barrel.
Single barrel. If you can't tell, that's kind of our theme. We love single barrels. We love the unique expressions, the one-offs, and that's kind of what we chase at this point in our whiskey journey. There's nothing wrong with a good shelfer, but if we had our preference between a shelfer and a single barrel, we're going to take the single barrel every time. Will we buy another Blanton's? Probably not for a while. We have several of them still. We were on a mission early on, as most taters are, to collect all of the horses, and we did. We got a few more of these to drink through before we start looking for another one. And
the price is starting to creep up a bit, as is the same with most whiskey, it seems like. And I like it more at the $50-something range more than the $60-something range. And another Buffalo Trace product. We've got a Weller 12-year. These are a great price point, if you can find them at that price point.
$40. Can't go wrong with 12-year-old Buffalo Trace.
Exactly. I don't care that it's a screw top. Who cares about that cork? It's not what makes the whiskey good. I like Weller 12.
I think it's very underrated as far as whiskey goes. I love the extra oak that this one gets. I would pick that up at $40 every time I see it.
Every single time.
Speaking of $40 Buffalo Trace bottles, we killed an Elmer Lee. Elmer Lee is also a single barrel. This one, when we first got it home and tasted it, we were pretty new in the bourbon game. This is an old bottle. We thought it was pretty good. We drank a little bit of it. It sat on the shelf for like a year. Drank a little bit more and we liked it a lot less. Sat on the shelf for another year or more. But we finally finished the bottle. And you know, it's not like you're choking down the whiskey. It's not that bad. It's just not that good.
Yeah.
It's gone.
We probably won't ever see it at a good price point, so then we probably won't buy it again. But, you know, if somehow we stroll across it and it is priced like it's supposed to be priced, I would buy it again.
There you go.
And last, but definitely not least in this list, we've got a Jack Daniel's 10-year-old. This was the first of their batches. I enjoy Jack Daniel's. That's no secret if you watch our channel. It's just how it is. I like that Tennessee whiskey. So I'm probably not the best one to say whether, you know, we would buy it again. Because guess what? We got batch 2 and we got batch 3.
Yeah, I mean, the price on the Jack Daniel's LEs in general, I feel beats every other distillery out there. This was like an $80 bottle. Batch 2 was also like an $80 bottle. Batch 3 was also like an $80 bottle.
Thank you, Jack Daniel's, for keeping prices good, because I like your whiskey.
Yeah, I would not pay secondary prices for this, but if I found it in a store, again, at that $80 price, I would probably buy it and back it up.
Me too. A little distracted because there's this little fuzzy thing floating around right now. But
dust on the bottle.
a little dust on the bottle, though. Anyway, those are the bottles we've killed recently. It's a lot. I admit it's a lot, but I hope you got something out of this. And let us know if you have had any of these bottles, if you'd replace them, what your most recent bottle kills were. And we'll see you again soon. Cheers.